London. Ruby Red Shoes is a white hare who lives in a prettily painted caravan with her grandmother, Babushka Galina Galufka. Ruby Red Shoes and Babushka on holiday and had just arrived in London on a foggy evening. The city blows a cold breath of air that rushes around their ears and snakes around their ankles. They shiver with delight at the wintry welcome and the scent of a new city carried with it. I, Carrot, Hare the musical, stand to the right, thank you. Visit Scotland, Twinkling Stee. Love London, Hare Express. Ruby and Babushka descend to the longest escalator imaginable, deep beneath the city, to the London Underground, where the trains run along their dark little burrows. They hop aboard a train that comes swooshing alongside the platform. Then, before Ruby knows it, they arrive at the destination and hop off. As they make their way along the frosty streets lined with the charming brick houses, Ruby thinks the golden lamps look like they have halos. These caring angels show them where to go in the dark. They arrive at 6 Lunar Crescent, where excited faces are waving from the window. Once inside, there is a joyful jumble of cuddles and kisses among a tumble of coats and luggage. Ruby knows what her clothes feel like when they get tangled in the wash. When everyone unravels, Ruby meets her Auntie Pinky and cousins Samantha and Hugo. They perch around Auntie Pinky's kitchen table to eat their supper. There are boiled eggs in cheery egg cups with buttered toast soldiers. Ruby tries a medley of cooked vegetables called Bubble and Squeak, which doesn't really bubble or squeak, but which tastes delicious. Over crumpets with marmalade and cups of hot tea, and surrounded by pots and pans, they make plots and plans for tomorrow's adventures. Ruby notices some of the books around her are about the stars, a subject dear to heart, and as soon as she learns, close to her auntie's heart too. Auntie Pinky draws a special map for Ruby to show where the stars and planets and moons stood when they welcomed baby Ruby into the world. That evening, Ruby sinks into a warming bath, the very bath her mother and Auntie Pinky used to splash around as little hares. She can just imagine them giggling among the soapy bubbles, and it makes her smile. Even though Ruby wishes her mother and father could be with her, Babushka Galushka lovingly treasures her that they are lovingly reassures her that they are the two of the brightest stars in the sky watching over her always. Ruby knows just which ones are there because they stand side by side, shining brilliantly like diamonds and winking, reminding Ruby that they are with her forever. But that's Ruby's own little secret. The new day begins with a lively wake-up song from a rather chipper Robin Redbreast. Ruby and her cousins take a scenic trip around London in an open-top bus. Ruby thinks it's funny and brilliant idea to remove the lid of the bus so you can see out, although not quite so funny if it rains. Tick-tock, its big band standing so straight and tall, his musical chime keeps London on time. Over the tower bridge we go as the river Thames runs below. The clever bridge lifts its arms to the sky so all the boats can pass by. Here is the statue of Eros. He is one of the Greek gods of love. Isn't he lovely keeping watch over Piccadilly Circus? So much to learn at the British Museum. The lion is the symbol of Britain and the unicorn is the symbol of Scotland. They are everywhere you look. The Tower of London is the home to the precious crown jewels and 6 ravens who guard the tower. It says that if the ravens leave, the kingdom will fall. It's time for tea. Striking silver teapots, dainty fine china, crisp cucumber sandwiches, heavenly Victoria sponge cake named after Queen Victoria. Oh, what a happy news today! A new royal heir is on its way. I wonder who's at home at Buckingham Palace. Dear chickens, I'm having so much fun exploring London. My shoes feel right at home here. And look, I found a red stamp. Did you know that the rose is a national flower of England? Love, Ruby. My chickens, 1 Carrot Lane, home. Big hugs for the giant Harrods bear. Ring ring, it's a red telephone box. Let's call all the chickens. Tock 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 tock. Liberty. The dainty fabric prints at Liberty are like a meadow of flowers. I'm sure there are bees buzzing close by. And that was the first part of Ruby Red's Shoes in London. See you next time with the next chapter.